Give me my wallet. I'm really getting pulled over by a tank right now.
Yes, sir.
You know, the Supreme Court actually ruled that you're legally allowed to flick off police officers.
Okay. That's not what we're talking to you about. We're going to talk to you about it. Do you have your license? Who's on it? Signal 10? Not this? Okay.
You got my wallet?
Step back here between the headlights, please.
Wow. You don't have to show him your ID.
Yes, she does. Come over here. Stand right here between the headlights, please. Mr. Jewell, please stand between the headlights.
I'm getting...
Stand between the headlights where I told you to. If I have to ask you again, you will be put in handcuffs and arrested for resisting. Do you understand me? Look at me. Do you understand me?
I will comply.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jewell, the reason that you're being stopped is for improper hand signal, which I don't know anything about a Supreme Court ruling that you can flick a cop off. What I do know about that extending your arm out the driver's side window of a vehicle and flicking somebody off is an improper hand signal. There are legitimate hand signals to use.
I wasn't trying to
stop. I'm
yes,
not
sir.
done. Okay. There's legitimate hand signals to use when you're driving.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
fine. All right.
Yes, sir.
That's why you're being stopped. The other reason that you're being stopped is because it appeared that the young lady was giving you fellatio while you were driving. So we're going to investigate that, and we're going to address these issues. And if it's not an issue, then we'll be on our way. But that's what we're investigating.
She was sleeping, and whenever we drove by, y'all have open air. One of the dudes who was in a car next to us said, "Oh, that girl's fucked up," because he saw her laying down. I will swear on God that she wasn't doing that, especially in such a high traffic area.
Well, that's definitely what it appeared to be. So that's why you're being stopped
for me
today.
I was recently on the ballot for city commission here in Gainesville, and I was surprised because I thought this was a safe community, that we needed tanks to drive down our streets. I mean, I thought that we basically I thought this was a safe community. I didn't know we were in Iraq. I'm a Navy veteran, by the way. So that's why I was so surprised to see a tank drive down my own neighborhood street. I mean, that's my big issue. I don't think a tank should be driving down my neighborhood streets.
That's an armored vehicle. That's not a tank.
You're telling me this isn't a tank?
You were in the Navy.
Yeah.
And you think that's a tank?
You telling me something like this doesn't go to Iraq?
Film after your video. You think that's a tank?
They're telling me that this right here is not a tank. He told me to do that. He told me to do that.
It's called an armored personnel carrier.
It's called a what?
Armored personnel carrier. And I'm gonna tell you what.
It's basically a tank.
I don't mind you recording that, but you're not gonna point it at me because there are firearms, one-round firearms that are made at devices like that. So if you want to film all of us, I don't mind that, but we'll set your camera up where it can film all of us.
Yes, sir.
All right? You want to sit it right here? And it'll face this way where we're all talking.
Can I just point it at me?
That's fine.
Okay.
You're not going to point it at me, that's the safety.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, here's the deal. I'm Sergeant Davis with the Alaska County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
So you know, left hand out the window while you're operating a motor vehicle on a public roadway, particularly with your middle finger up in the air, directed at anybody, that's considered an improper hand signal. A. You're not going to be cited for that, but you are going to be issued a warning. When you're driving a motor vehicle on a public roadway, what do you need to be focused on?
The road.
All right, which is straight ahead of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Not off to your side with one hand on the wheel and your other hand out the window.
Yes, sir.
Focusing on over here. That's an unsafe driving habit. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. It's also not good for a female passenger to have her head in your lap. Whether you say she's asleep, she says she's asleep, whatever it is, for everybody in this vehicle, it looked like something else. It looked like a sexual act on a public roadway occurring on a driver who's operating a motor vehicle. Does that make sense?
It doesn't. That's the part that honestly makes the least amount of sense to me, because that's so clearly what was not happening. She was still not moving, and I could understand how her laying there could be perceived as unsafe, but the implication
how
of
is that passenger supposed to be seatbelted into the front seat?
She was seatbelted.
I'm asking you how she's supposed to be seated in the front seat.
Oh, upright possibly. The seat appears as if it's designed to be for the rider to sit upright.
There you go. You're on the right track. Here's what's going to happen
today. Out what you're throwing
down. The report's going to be pulled by ASO that states that you were stopped for the following reasons. A, improper driving issues.
Yes, sir.
Sticking your hand out the window, one hand on the wheel, looking opposite direction while you're going this way.
Yes, sir.
On a heavily congested roadway right after a Gator football game.
Roger
All
that.
right. Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you?
No, sir.
It's also going to be documented that it appeared you were in the middle of a sexual act. However, we're not filing charges on that, but that is part of the reason you were stopped, because that's what it looked like to everybody in this vehicle.
Okay.
All right? Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. You have a good day, man. Take your stuff back.
Have a good one.